Right now, we're Super Bowl Central.
Down the middle of the field, and the pass is picked off by Harrison. And the New England Patriots will be the first dynasty of the 21st century.
From the gridiron to the stands.
Makes you give it a try. To live and let die.
To the halftime show. Complete Super Bowl coverage starts now. Good evening, everybody. Fox 30's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday night coverage. I'm John O'Connor.
And I am Paige Kelton. Two big victories tonight. One, of course, for the New England Patriots. The other for the city of Jacksonville. A huge victory, both for the city and the Patriots in Super Bowl 39. And Lee Gordon joining us now with the highlights. And the game started off, I think a lot of people groaned. Oh, the first play of the game, there was a turnover, that it might not be a good game. But in the end, it was a great game.
No, it turned into a great game.
Yeah, it was almost like last year. Last year, first half, everybody thinks this is the most boring Super Bowl in the history of the world. And all of a sudden, it's a great game. For the city of Jacksonville, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know, say what you will about the New England Patriots. They may not be as popular as the Steelers of the 70s or the Cowboys of the 90s, but they are truly a dynasty. Pats and Eagles tonight from Alltel Stadium. It's Super Bowl 39, and Bill Belichick, well, he's one heck of a coach, but just doesn't know which team he coaches for. He starts things off on the Eagles sideline, of course, heads over to the right sideline. Eventually, the T.O. hype finally over, and thank goodness for that. Terrell Owens catches a pass. Now we don't have to hear about him for another year. But Donovan McNabb, he certainly had a rough day. After one interception called back, McNabb picked off, this time by Rodney Harrison, certainly getting his 2 cents in today. The Eagles would get the ball back, but again a turnover. McNabb to L.J. Smith. He is stripped of the ball by Eugene Wilson. The Pats recover and take over. 10:02 now, left in the second quarter. This time, the Eagles finally make it happen. And it's L.J. Smith making amends, 7 yards on the touchdown. Philly with the early lead in Super Bowl 39. But the Pats, they make mistakes. Tom Brady isn't always perfect. Loses the ball. Darwin Walker picks it up. But the Eagles, well, they would turn it over again. Just before the break, Pats finally seal a deal. Tom Brady, David Givens, 4 yards. We are tied at 7 at the half. Second half now. Little trickery from the Patriots. Brady dumps it off to Mike Vrabel. He's a linebacker, not a receiver, folks, but looks pretty good there. 2 yards, 14-7. Patriots, they got that Eagle dance down pretty well. McNabb comes back, hits Brian Westbrook. We are all tied at 14 apiece, but the Pats return the favor. Corey Dillon playing in his first ever Super Bowl, 2 yards for the touchdown, a 1-touchdown lead for the Pats. McNabb tries to rally the troops. He was brutal today, picked off by Teddy Bruschi, but then McNabb would have one last chance. 17 seconds to play, the entire field to go, and Rodney Harrison is Johnny on the spot again. The Patriots have now won 9 consecutive playoff games. 3 of the last Super Bowls are headed to Boston. 24-21 is the final.
This is why we work so hard, and it's long hours, and we haven't had a day off in 7 months. At least I haven't had a day off in 7 months, and it's all for this. And wait till we get that Super Bowl ring and go to the White House and hopefully have a parade again. It's another championship for the city of Boston, another championship for our great franchise.
I mean, we've had a special year. This is a year in which no one expected us to do. I mean, you know, people may have said that we could have went to the Super Bowl, but who actually really felt that way? And when we got here, no one ever gave us a chance. And, you know, I bet you everyone was sitting at the edge of their seat when we went back out there with 50-something seconds left, because we possibly could have won that game.
You thought so, but the Patriots are so good. I don't know how they do it, but they just find a way to do it
And
all the
McNabb
time.
really did not strong game. He threw some pretty poor passes out there
he's
tonight.
a great quarterback, which is not tonight.
And Brady's hoping for a parade? I mean, come on, they're lining up on the streets
He's
right
going to
now.
get a parade to the Hall of Fame tomorrow if he wants it. You know?
Exactly.
Sooner or
Lee,
later.
all right, thanks. Well, fans that didn't head home are now continuing the party, mostly Patriots fans, we imagine, down at the Jacksonville Landing.
All week long, that has kind of been party central the last couple of nights. It has just been jam-packed down there. Our Carl Torf is standing by live to give us a view of what the scene is right now. Carl?
Yeah, well, jam-packed, you know, for Friday night, for Saturday night, but I tell you what, a lot of those fans were Philadelphia Eagles fans, and I can tell you that a lot of them have left for the night. They were here earlier today, a lot of them without tickets to the game, watching, though, at the Landing, and here's the setup they had. Pretty impressive down there at the Landing. It was very, very crowded. Take a look. You had your big screen TVs, several of them placed all over, and fans watching. A little bit cold. We're being right next here, next to the river, but in the end, of course, it was the Patriots fans that stayed warm, and they are champions. tell me what this means for Boston. It's a dynasty.
This means everything. Red Sox won the World Series this year. Patriots won.
It was a great game. It was a great game. Philly came in with their best game. The Patriots were better. That was all. The defense ruled the game, but the defense of the Patriots was better than the defense of Philly. It was awesome.
The difference was Philadelphia.
New England had it.
Philadelphia had no chance.
New England
Patriots are some predators. They're going to take it like a prey. It's going down every time.
Hey, fans, a lot of them coming by here went to the game, and so they're coming by with the seat cushion that they received. They also got a light and a radio, just one of the things you get for going to the game. We want to thank the Philadelphia Eagle fan who let us take the time to check this thing out. He doesn't want to be on camera for obvious reasons, but a lot of the fans telling us tonight that they love Jacksonville, even Eagles fans, up until the fourth quarter of tonight's game. Reporting live from the Landing, I'm Carl Torg, Fox 30 News.
Thank you, Carl. Well, in the end, certainly over the last few days, Friday, we began to redeem ourselves weather-wise, so I think there'll be quite a few people leaving Jacksonville with a pretty good impression of our town.
But there's like 30,000 people leaving tomorrow and Tuesday. They're expecting a JIA, so that'll be another hurdle, whether or not the airport can
The final test.
Exactly.
Right there.
All right. Well, right before kickoff at Alltel today, some St. Augustine students made their singing and their signing debut. They did an amazing job. Students from the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind joined 5-time Grammy winner Alicia Keys for a tribute to none other than Ray Charles singing America the Beautiful. The kids practiced for weeks to get their Super Bowl performance just right. By the way, Ray Charles was once a student at the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind.
Baby, you can drive my car. Wanna be a star.
No wardrobe malfunctions this Super Bowl, just a whole lot of classic music. Sir Paul McCartney, former Beatle and solo star, performed during the halftime show. He played 2 songs on bass, Baby You Can Drive My Car and Get Back. Then he sat in on piano and played Live and Let Die, followed by an audience participation version of Hey Jude.
That Live and Let Die business with the pyrotechnics synced up to it, that was fantastic. What a great halftime show.
It certainly was.
Well, Presidents Bush and Clinton also showing up here for the Super Bowl. They're actually teaming up together to raise money for the tsunami relief. But before heading to the game, former President Bush Sr., and his wife Barbara heading down to Ponte Vedra to a school there where a lot of students at Palm Valley Elementary presented a check to former President Bush for $1,700. That was to go toward the country's tsunami relief efforts. These kids really worked hard. They called it their Coins for Kids campaign. There's a snapshot of that going on right now. A lot of those kids emptied out their piggy banks and even gave up some of their allowance to help in this fundraising effort. So great job for those kids.
They really worked hard. They did. And at Alltel, then Presidents Bush and Clinton, they teamed up and thanked Americans for all their help. Of course, they've been making the rounds for months now, or since the tsunami happened. The Christmas Day it happened. They've been raising hundreds of millions of dollars from Americans and countries.
And that was right before the game tonight when they got together and
they seem to get along really well. They're spending a lot of time together.
Michael Douglas doing an introduction tonight, so we've definitely had some heavy hitters here in Jacksonville for this week.
All right, so it was a sold-out crowd at Alltel Stadium, and all those folks have left the stadium now or on the streets surrounding the stadium right now. We're told that traffic isn't too bad, but let's take a live look. This is actually Interstate 10, just west of downtown. Traffic certainly looks good there, but on Bay Street it is shut down. It's only open to foot traffic right now, you know, around town. If it's away from Alltel Stadium, you're in good shape right now.
We heard some horror stories earlier in the week. We saw, I guess it was like Thursday night coming over the Hart Bridge. That was an absolute nightmare. But as the weekend kind of rolled around, traffic was not too terribly bad, and a lot of people opting for that. What we heard anyway was a pretty well-organized effort with the shuttle service and the buses and everything that were going on.
I took the shuttle myself off Emerson Street, and it worked out really well.
It's pretty planning. Right.
Well, even before the game ended tonight, of course, all those T-shirt companies, they start printing out the shirts, and they're hoping that they start printing the team that actually ends up winning.
Yes, but as our Russell Motley is about to tell us, one of those companies, well, they jumped the gun just a little bit, didn't they, Russ?
Already, people on the streets are wearing T-shirts proclaiming the Patriots as the new Super Bowl champions. Well, tonight we stopped by one T-shirt factory where the pressure is on.
New England, he doesn't have his usual partner.
Watching the Super Bowl from a 12-inch TV, this NFL licensed T-shirt maker has been waiting for the game clock to run out. That's when he'll start printing some 2,000 championship T-shirts for either the Patriots or the Eagles.
Oh, we're watching it very closely. We're hoping somebody starts to pull ahead a little bit so we can go ahead and get started on these.
The Arlington company Misfits and More has already cranked out 5,000 of these T-shirts for each team and shipped them to Alltel Stadium in time for the game. Team's T-shirt will be rolled out and sold to fans. The losing team, under NFL regulations, will have their T-shirts destroyed. Now that we know who the new Super Bowl champions are, this silkscreen operation will be working around the clock, printing about 500 T-shirts every 2 hours.
It's a pretty big production. We have to do front and back on these shirts, so it takes a little bit of time. They have to go through the entire process one time, go through the dryer, and then run them all through one more time.
They'll need to have thousands of T-shirts ready for a 9 a.m. pickup headed for the airport, where football fans can buy one of these on their way out.
We're very excited about it. This is a great opportunity for us to really showcase our business and show people the kind of quality that we can put out. I mean, if it's good enough for the NFL, then it's definitely good enough for the city of Jacksonville and other people and our clients. So.
Another local company, First Coast T-shirts, is cranking out NFL licensed locker room T-shirts. Those will be available in the morning. We're live downtown. I'm Russell Motley, Fox 30 News.
Thanks, Russell. Apparently that company got the impression early on that the Eagles were going to win, started pumping out T-shirts, and then at one point realized, oops, let's toss those.
Let's bring in a fresh load of shirts.
Then we heard they had some sort of electrical problem with one of the silkscreen machines, so they are under the gun tonight to deliver those T-shirts to the airport by 9 a.m.
Every time I see a live shot from down there by the Main Street Bridge, I'm just amazed at how beautiful it is. That the lighting and everything, all the lights on the
most people I have spoken to about that, who have brought that up, there were a lot of people that argued, let's not spend that kind of money to light those bridges, but most people I have spoken with said they love it. They think it was money well spent. Yeah. There's an argument to be made either way, but most people seem to really like it. It does look nice.
Well, our sports director, Barry Butel, had a front row seat for tonight's game. He joins us live now from Alltel Stadium, where, as you can see behind him, the fans, well, they've left.
Yeah, they have, guys. But again, it was beautiful down here, the lights and the show. The NFL put on a great show, as did Jacksonville. And what a game they had. 24-21 the final score. Opening half a bit slow. 7-7 at halftime. Both teams, both quarterbacks really having some problems finding their groove early on. Their ground game not established. For the second half, a different story. And a different team came out for the New England Patriots in the start of the second half, the beginning of that third quarter. Tom Brady led the attack down the field in that opening drive of the second half. Hit Vrabel with 5 receptions for this linebacker and 5 touchdowns for the Patriots, who, as Joe Bucks quoted, the first dynasty of the 21st century. 3 Super Bowls in the last 4 seasons. The only other NFL team to do so, the Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s. Big game here, big win for the Patriots as they have set themselves apart now from a lot of other teams in regards to supremacy in the Super Bowl. That'll do it from now. I'm Barry Butel, live at Alltel Stadium. Back to you guys.
Yeah, with championship rights now for baseball and football, you think they have a little bragging going on up there now?
You think they'll be doing a little bragging?
Oh, yeah.
I suppose
and something
they will.
else, too, I'm sure, tonight, well into the early morning hours. Well, CBS, actually, in Fox 30's coverage of Super Bowl 39 and everything that's happening around town afterwards will continue right after this break.
Hold on for the greatest thrill ride in sports. The Daytona 500. Broadcast in HD, February 20th, only on Fox.
Arms up. Expose yourself to America's funniest family. Dude. Malcolm in the Middle.
Monday at 6 on Fox 30. It's time to think big. That's right. It's time for Toyota's Think Big truck event. Think bigger horsepower, bigger towing ability, bigger payload capacity. Think Tundra double cab with more standard horsepower, towing, and payload capacity than the Ford F-150. Get $2,000 cash back on the 05 Tundra double cab. That's big cash on Toyota's biggest truck. Hurry to your local Toyota dealer today because the Think Big truck event ends February 28th. Toyota, moving forward.
BK Big Fish with Cheese.
Yo.
Oh, you gotta reel it in.
Just give me the sandwich. I'm not reeling it in.
Come on, it's a big fish. Just reel it in. Oh, come on, it's a bigger fish than that.
Oh,
yeah, go.
Oh, you got it. Go.
Nice one, Skipper.
The new spicy BK Big Fish. It's spicy. It bites back.
Have it your way.
Right now, Dodge Truck Days is the biggest and the best thing going on. Grab the Dakota with the only available V8 in its class and best-in-class torque. Or Ram Thunder Road with 345 horses of Hemi power and 20-inch wheels. Now get 0% financing plus package discounts plus February bonus cash for total savings up to $9,000. So hurry into Truck Days and grab life in the Southeast big time.
The king of the studs is about to meet his queen.
Did it hurt?
What?
When you fell down from heaven.
That 70 Show.
Monday at 7 on Fox 30.
Right now at Golden Corral, there's a steak with your name on it. A steak that's over an inch thick. Hand cut daily. Fresh, never frozen. Aged for tenderness. USDA inspected. Claim your piece of perfection at Golden Corral at a great low price of $8.59 every night on the dinner buffet. Golden Corral, everyone deserves a good meal.
On the next great communications makeover, the Cook family's in need of some changes. The changes are on their way. We removed the cable. Pricey long distance, not in this neighborhood.
Slow dial up.
You gotta speed it up. Still playing out of the 80s? What happens when the Cooks come home to find a Bell South bundle of services? Open your eyes! You have all new services from Bell South. Call now and get up to $125 back, only from Bell South. Listening, answering.
Wow, talk about an energized crowd at Alltel Stadium. We still have some fans filtering out of Alltel Stadium. It's a chilly evening, but I can hear the Eagles fans still going strong, even though this was a very close game.
Yeah, you'd think it would be Patriots fans that would be out here, but just a couple of minutes ago, there's a whole big group of Eagles fans. Boy, they love their team because they're still chanting E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles, and carrying on. But we've seen a lot of people come and go after the game, and everybody's really well behaved. We haven't seen any problems. I'm a little surprised.
Right down from the planning to the partying to the actual Super Bowl, even the halftime show. Wasn't it amazing? Fireworks and fire coming out of the stage, and they put together the halftime show literally within 3 minutes. About 200 school kids rushed the stage, and Paul McCartney, of course, singing lots and lots of Beatles songs that everyone could identify with. What a great choice for that. A lot of people had signs and banners to hold up, and some of the lyrics even were spelled out, na 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 na, throughout Alltel Stadium. It was wild.
Yeah, the only problems that I saw, everything really came off smoothly, but there were a couple of bottlenecks before the game when everybody was trying to get in and get to their seats before the pregame festivities, and there were some areas that were really hard to get through. And then there was some talk going around that some of the bathrooms had been shut down for a little while because of some plumbing problems. So some people were a little unhappy because it was very congested in some areas of Alltel before the game, but that's the only really problem that I've saw at all today, Beth.
Yeah, it looked like what the difference was between the Jaguar games and the Super Bowl is that there were more vendors, and the vendor areas were really large, kind of clogging up the aisleways. But all in all, really a good game, and the city seemed to fare pretty well. Back to you.
Now, your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris.
And for the most part, weather cooperated this weekend. It did have some clouds at times. It was chilly, but much better than the weather that we had a few days ago. And even though we have clouds, we don't have anything on First Alert Doppler. It is dry now over northeastern Florida and southeast Georgia. And we do have those clouds that have been spreading inland as we headed through the evening hours at about sunset or a little before that. And here you can see a pretty widespread Brunswick to Waycross in southeastern Georgia down to Kingsland in Florida, most of northeastern Florida until you get into the Gainesville area, experiencing a good deal of cloud cover right now. So we zoom into Duval County. Actually, there's some breaks now from the beaches, Jacks Beach and Mayport, right into downtown, but then socked in western Duval County. And we'll still see these clouds move in and out through the nighttime hours, but will not produce any precipitation. It's keeping temperatures up a little, though, as Jack and Beverly mentioned. It is pretty chilly. 50 right now at the International Airport, 47 at the beach. There's still a breeze, north-northeasterly at 5 miles per hour. But closer to the coast, that becomes a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind, and you can really feel that chill. All right, some folks may still have a tea time over the next couple of days before they head out of Jacksonville or head back to work, whatever the case might be. Looks pretty good for tomorrow after that cold start. Sun will send temperatures well into the 60s and 70 plus for Tuesday, so we'll throw that in as an excellent golfing day if you happen to manage a couple more days off. And on the SATRAD, close-in view of Jacksonville, there you can see some of those low clouds moving in from the ocean and then also approaching from the west. some high-level cloudiness, so the combination means a mix of clouds and sun as we go through the day tomorrow as the storm system continues to pull out through the Midwest, and it's producing plenty of rain and well up into the Midwest there. We're seeing some snow. Kansas up into Iowa. We have a southerly flow of air that's going to really take over here out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that means some warmer air. Look at this. Temperatures tomorrow approaching 70 degrees. To get to the coast, it will, of course, be a few degrees cooler, but get farther inland, even a little bit warmer in the low to mid-70s. And Tuesday, a few more degrees to tack on. So 70 to 75 will pretty much cover it area-wide as we get into some real nice warm temperatures. Now, we do have an approaching cold front, though, off to the north and west. This will be sliding gradually south and eastward, and as it does so, well, it produces some warm air out ahead of it. We also will eventually get into some chillier air by the end of the week, and that transition will result in some rainfall. So next couple of days are quiet with generally an east to northeasterly wind, but that will allow for the warm-up to continue next week then. And we're talking now at about 7 to 8 days. We do have some changes on the way. The polar jet stream is going to dive southward. Now that has the cold air. There also will be the subtropical jet cutting across the Gulf of Mexico and into the first coast. Combination of that means more than likely a wet period setting up in about 7 or 8 days. Looks like a couple of pretty decent weather systems that should bring some pretty decent precipitation. But for tonight, we don't have to worry about rain. Partly cloudy and chilly. Lows between 40 and 45 with a light northeasterly breeze. Partly sunny and nice tomorrow. Highs in the upper 60s. Low 70s, though, by the time you get to Lake City and Gainesville. And the Boynton Beach forecast small craft advisory still in effect thanks to gusty winds and seas 8 to 11 feet. Surf 5 to 8 feet. The rip current risk high. And temperatures at the beaches with that onshore wind will once again be much cooler. Only making it into the low 70s, but 71 Tuesday, 74 on Wednesday with some showers Wednesday night into early Thursday, followed by some cooler air again by Friday and Saturday. But the next few days, real nice warm-up.
You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were some fairly miserable days this past week. Can we see that kind of weather again? Are we
We're getting into that time of year where it's tough to get several days like that in a row. Really any winter. I mean, that's about as nasty as it gets in Jacksonville during the winter. So hopefully that's
Figures it
behind us.
happened on 3 days when
Right. I mean, it's just
we were outside.
The weekend was great.
The timing just wasn't too good, but a day or two not unusual, but several like that in a row.
All right. Michael, thanks a lot. We will continue our Super Bowl coverage here on Fox 30, but right now we want to take a bit of a break and bring you a special Fox 30 investigation. A mysterious skin disease spreading across Florida, and one that will literally make your skin crawl.
We don't know the cause, we don't know the cure. We do know that doctors aren't listening to those who are suffering. But investigative reporter Celine MacArthur is, and she won't stop reporting until she gets some results.
Absolutely not. It is really, really wild. We're talking about thousands of people, mostly here in Florida, Texas, and California, that are coming down with this bizarre disease that makes them bugs crawling under their skin. Now, we must warn you, the video you're about to see is shocking, but it is critical in exposing the disease.
The sores are very funny looking. They just something that we've never had before.
And it felt like an army of ants just crawling up over the bed, all over my body.
It's itching, it's crawling, it's biting. It never goes away, and it doesn't die, it doesn't leave.
Now I know what a prisoner of war feels like. It was absolutely tormenting.
It sounds like science fiction, but what these people are describing is real. They're suffering from an unusual parasite-like skin disease, which produces painful sores all over the body. These sores ooze blue fibers, white threads, and little black specks of sand-like material. But the worst part, these sufferers say, is the creepy and constant sensation of bugs crawling under their skin.
I feel contaminated.
All of these people went to their doctors for help. None were treated with medicine or compassion.
The doctor came in and he goes, "There's no worms crawling around in your head, Mrs. Jones." And he goes, "Your CAT scan was normal." They never even did a CAT scan on me yet.
I was so humiliated from the 3 doctors that I went to that I just refused to go back.
Humiliation and fear is why this Jacksonville woman asked us to keep her identity a secret.
They're either frightened that you're contagious or they're frightened that you're delusional.
We're very isolated. That part has been very difficult.
No, I get to be the turtle.
Ann Dill says her entire family is plagued by these bizarre symptoms. They're all so sick, they rarely leave their Lake Mary home.
Now that I see my husband's health declining so drastically and so fast, I feel desperate. Like there's no time to mess around or to wait, because his life is definitely in danger.
Becky Bailey moved out of her Austin, Texas home and into a trailer, hoping to escape the bugs that torment her.
We ripped out our carpet and burned our carpet and our furniture and moved into our RV, and they're still on me.
Like a pit bull-like lesion.
Without medical help, these families researched their symptoms on the internet. Finally, they were able to put a name to their pain, Morgellons. It's a skin disease that's been around for centuries. In 1935, an English physician wrote this paper about Morgellons, including excerpts from medical journals from the 1600s describing the disease. Unfortunately, not much was known then about Morgellons, and not much has been learned in the more than 400 years since. What we do know is that many of the people who may have it suffer from these symptoms: constant itching and a crawling sensation, chronic fatigue, brain fog or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, joint swelling, or hair loss. But what you should do with symptoms is as puzzling as the disease itself.
They look at me like, Mom, do something, and I feel helpless.
Our investigation into Morgellons has led us here to snowy Pittsburgh, PA, where one woman has dedicated her entire life to finding out what causes and what may cure this mystery skin disease.
It's inhumane that these people have been allowed to go home and have been forced to research this day in and day out for years on their own.
Mary Lato is a biologist and the creator of the Morgellons Research Foundation in Pittsburgh. Her goal is to get state health agencies and the Center for Disease Control to study the disease. Her motivations come from her 6-year-old boy, Drew. 4 years ago, he began to feel the itch.
He started describing bugs. It said, "Mommy, bugs, bugs," and he would scratch.
Then came the sores that shed the fibers. Mary took Drew to the doctor. The doctor said there was nothing to worry about.
It concerns me.
And these patients who say their lives depend on getting answers.
I was going to find the answer, or I was going to have to take my life. That's all there was to it.
Again, doctors don't know what causes the disease or who is at risk. Now, tomorrow, we'll dig deeper into the mystery and show you the impact this bizarre infection is having on an entire Florida family. We'll also find out why many doctors are turning Morgellons patients away. Now, if you think you may be suffering from this condition, we'd like to hear from you. You can call me at the number on your screen, 928-5548, or you can email me at CelineMacArthur@clearchannel.com.
Celine, you've talked about these fiber-like things that come out of these sores. Have doctors done lab work on it and test what they're made of? Or
They haven't. And according to the Morgellons Foundation and a lot of the patients I spoke to, they'll actually bring what they pull out of their skin and they'll bring it to a doctor, and the doctor's going, no, that's not the way that we test it. And then they've asked the doctors to test it, and the bottom line is either they're afraid of it, they don't believe it. I mean, there's a whole host of excuses that they're giving, but they will not test it. And actually, people are pulling stuff out. And tomorrow we will speak to a doctor who actually did do some of the pulling herself, and it kind of, hopefully that will push the investigation.
Sure. All right, we'll look for that tomorrow.
Celine, thanks.
Thanks, Celine.
Fox 30's Super Bowl coverage will continue right after this break. Stay with us.
Arlington Toyota Scion gets you there in style. Lease a new 05 Camry LE for a low $279 a month with no cash down. Or lease a new 05 Corolla CE for only $219 a month.
Arlington Toyota Scion gets you there.
There's a lot of legal work involved when taking on an auto accident case. But one thing our firm takes pride in is just lending you a hand when you need it. We have people who will help you with your medical appointments. We're aware there can be issues involving lost income, daycare, or rental cars. You see, our goal is not only to give you the best result possible, we want to make your life just a little bit easier until we get there. Call the law offices of Eddie Farah.
Celebrating Claude Nolan Cadillac's 100th year. We're proud to have served Jacksonville's luxury car needs for over 100 years and excited to offer the finest lineup of Cadillacs ever built. Hundreds of new Cadillacs and pre-owned certified Cadillacs are on sale now. Our biggest selection ever. Escalade, Seville, STSs, ESVs, SRXs, even the incredible XLR. You've waited 100 years for a sale like this. Hurry in now to Claude Nolan Cadillac's 100th year celebration and get the deal of the century.
2 special nights with Bishop T.D. Jakes, Thursday, February 24th through Friday, February 25th at the Titus Harvest Dome Spectrum. Powerful breakthrough services with Bishop T.D. Jakes of the Potter's House.
You have never been worked out like you're going to be worked out in the process of making it through life.
At 7 p.m. nightly, hosted by Pastor R.J. Washington Sr. All seats and parking are free. No registration fee. Special VIP seating for pastors' wives, celebrities, and special guests. Call 1-888-2-TITUS for more info.
Arlington Toyota Scion, get you there in style. Lease a new 05 4Runner SR5 for a low $369 a month with no cash down. Or lease a new 05 Highlander for only $329 a month.
Arlington Toyota Scion, get you there.
Fox 30's Lee Gordon joining us again. And I think after that first turnover, people kind of groaned and said, oh, this may not be a good game.
Yeah,
but in the end, it was...
They started swapping TDs there, so this was getting that got
turned out to be
great
a good
games
game.
pretty quickly.
Little seesaw battle, and you thought just for a moment maybe the Patriots would lose, but this doesn't happen.
You know, say what you want about the New England Patriots. They may not be as popular as some of those old teams we used to root for when we were kids, but the Pats are truly a dynasty, taking on the Eagles tonight at Alltel Stadium. It's Super Bowl 39, and Bill Belichick, not quite sure which team he coaches for, started on the Eagles sideline eventually. Of course, he found his way. Donovan McNabb, how about this? Terrell Owens, 7 yards. We don't have to hear about the T.O. hype. He played decently well considering he broke his ankle just a couple weeks ago. But Donovan McNabb had a rough day after one interception called back. McNabb picked off this time by Rodney Harrison, and this one counts. But the Eagles would get the ball back, and again, it's a turnover. McNabb hits L.J. Smith, who's stripped of the ball. Eugene Wilson recovers. Pats take over. 10:02 now left in the second. This time, the Eagles make things happen. It's L.J. Smith making amends. 7 yards on the touchdown score. The Eagles strike first, looking for a mini upset. Pats, though, making a lot of mistakes. Tom Brady, he is human after all, loses the ball. Darwin Walker picks it up, and the Eagles, they too would turn it over again. Just before the break, Pats finally break the seal. Tom Brady to David Gibbons in the corner of the end zone. The Eagle dance. Everybody's doing it these days. Tied at 7 at the break. Second half now. How about Tom Brady, Mike Vrabel, little tip, drop, catch, touchdown Patriots, 14-7. They too know how to dance. McNabb comes back. This time, Brian Westbrook, 10-yard touchdown up the gut. We are tied at 14. Pats return the favor. 7-point lead for the Patriots. McNabb tries to rally the troops. Picked off by guess who? Teddy Bruschi. The Pats. Were they good again tonight? Late in the fourth, Pats up by a field goal. McNabb trying to make miracles happen, but Rodney Harrison, certainly Johnny on the spot tonight. The Pats have now won 9 consecutive playoff games, 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. They win tonight 24-21. Barry Butel has more from Alltel Stadium.
Thanks, guys. What a fantastic football game it was. Super Bowl 39 right here in downtown Jacksonville, and Jacksonville should be pleased because the opening half somewhat slow. Both quarterbacks trying to find their groove. Both Tom Brady, Donovan McNabb overthrowing their receivers. Some penalties called. Turnovers a big factor in this game as well, kind of swaying in the favor of the New England Patriots. Big second half for wide receiver Deion Branch, the game MVP, coming up with 11 catches in this game. For New England, it is their 3rd Super Bowl title in the last 4 seasons. They are just the 2nd team in NFL history, along with the Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s, to record that feat. Here's what the Patriots and some of them had to say after this big, big win.
We're so happy to win this year. We started at the bottom of the mountain with everybody else, and you know, we're thrilled to be able to get to the top. And that's what this year was about one fight against 31 other teams to try to win this Super Bowl.
We just believe in each other, you know, and got a great coaching staff, you know, and great players. And, you know, and when you believe in each other, man, you can just about anything you want to do.
You just don't take world championships for granted. And, you know, I'm just so thankful, so grateful. Just, man, that locker room full of my teammates, I mean, to pull it together and, oh, man, everyone is different. Everyone is different. You know, each and every one is its own special game. And, you know, this one was a special game in itself, too.
So 24-21 the final score, and we're down here on the field as it is official that the New England Patriots have formally lost their defensive coordinator, Romeo Crennel. He will be named the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns very soon. Of course, they lost their offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss, to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. For now, though, that's the report. Super Bowl 39, a big one, a 3-point victory once again for the defending champions, the New England Patriots, over the Philadelphia Eagles 24-21. For now, I'm Barry Butel, Fox 30 Sports.
It's hard to believe it's over.
I know it is,
all the hype, all the countdown every day, 40 days, 30 days, 20 days, and now it's 0 days.
And when you're that
Now
good,
we've done it.
your coaches start getting hired away.
Yeah, they're going to lose a lot.
Right after you win.
Right after you win. They're going somewhere else. All right, Lee, thanks.
Well, even though their team did not win tonight, Eagles fans established, a long time ago that they are some of the most emotional, if not rabid, fans in the league.
That's right, win or lose. And he's a reporter first, a Philly fan second, but our Sean Tobin joins us now live from East Arlington, and it is, where is he joining us?
He's at Philly's Finest, kind of a home away
that's
from home for a lot of local fans, Sean.
That is right indeed, John. I guess if you call Jacksonville Jaguars country, you take a look up here at Philly's Finest. Let's call that the Philadelphia Embassy. Maybe a lot of transplanted Philadelphians, they come fans, or whenever the Eagles are playing, they cheer on their favorite team. Tonight they cheered their favorite team on for one last time, not with the results that they had hoped for, though.
And as the big game began, it was easy to know who the Eagles fans were in this crowd, as always, loud, large, and green.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it.
The New England Patriots have seen their fair share of Super Bowls in recent years, but it's been nearly 25 years since the Eagles last appeared in a Super Bowl. The emotional highs and lows of this Super Bowl very visible on the faces of many of these Jacksonville Eagles fans.
Well, I mean, I've been a fan for 35 years, but I've spent the last 24 years remembering the loss in '81 to the Raiders, and it's just like the champagne cork's ready to explode.
Now, the Eagles fans have their own officially adopted place in Philly's Finest over there, but you know what? The Pats fans, they need a place to watch the game as well. Well, they found it here at Sneakers Sports Grill. Philly fans over there, Pats fans over here, and tonight these two didn't mix very well at all.
It's crazy. We were down the landing the other night, and it's like 4-1, 5-1 odds. They're pretty wild.
Now, whether you wore Patriots red, white, and blue or Eagles green, the one thing many of these fans took home with them, a home game of super proportions.
And back live here at St. John's Bluff and Atlantic Boulevard, we saw some very emotional Philly fans. Remember, they're emotional when their team's winning. They were very emotional out here when they lost. We saw some people crying out here. We did see some Pats fans. They were very graceful, and they did walk out. They congratulated some of the Eagles fans on a game well fought. And I might take a sidebar, too. You guys put it out there. I am a native Philadelphian. I'll tell you what, my team didn't win, and the Patriots were the better team tonight. But I'll tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to have been anywhere else this week. This was a great place to be, one, as a journalist, two, as a lifelong Philadelphia fan. It was a great experience to be here, and I'll have that to take away from here. For now, we're live. Sean Tobin, Fox 30 News.
Thank you, Sean. I have to tell a story on him. He actually shuttled me from the station down to the NFL Experience earlier this week because we were getting people back and forth, and we were driving along down Prudential. It was nice and calm, and all of a sudden, Sean rolled down his window, and he saw an Eagles fan. He hung his head out the window. He was like, "Go Eagles!" So he is most definitely, he's most definitely a fan. Yeah.
Well, it's great to see. I have a friend who lives in Chetts Creek, and he's a native Philadelphian. He had season tickets for 20 years, and all of his friends took the train down. They didn't have tickets to the game, but they took the train down because he had decked out his house, you know, and just from, you know, top to bottom in Philadelphia, you know, garb, and they just came down here to watch the game.
A surprising number of people coming down with no tickets, no chance of getting them. They just wanted to be around
That's right, little tiny TVs, but they're here.
They're here.
Fox 30's coverage of Super Bowl 39 continues right after this. Stay with us.
Get your air conditioning serviced by the company that has served Jacksonville for over 30 years. Call Snyder Air Conditioning at 641-0600 and get your system checked and cleaned for only $75. Receive a free Train electric air cleaner with any purchase of Train's XLI comfort system. Offer good through February 28, 2005. It's hard to stop a Train, and Snyder guarantees you'll save 30% on your electric bill. Snyder Air Conditioning, serving Jacksonville for over 30 years. Call Snyder today, 641-0600.
It's time to think big. That's right. It's time for Toyota's Think Big truck event. Think bigger horsepower, bigger towing ability, bigger payload capacity. Think Tundra double cab with more standard horsepower, towing, and payload capacity than the Ford F-150. Get $2,000 cash back on the 05 Tundra double cab. That's big cash on Toyota's biggest truck. Hurry to your local Toyota dealer today because the Think Big truck event ends February 28th. Toyota, moving forward.
From scratch. You know what kind you want?
Oh, it's shaped like a heart.
Like a heart? Who's this for?
Mom.
Okay, we'll get the measuring cup and we'll get started. So do that. Whoa. Okay, ready? So, does she know you like her?
I guess.
Clean off the edge. Watch this. I know, let's put her name on it. Okay, you better hurry up. I'm going to pick you up outside right at 3 o'clock.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. Oh, wait, you forgot your cake.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hey, get to J.D. Byrider now for good-to-go tax days. Get a card today from your tax refund.
Haven't filed yet? Bring your W-2s to J.D. Byrider. We'll figure your tax refund so you can use it to get the car you need now.
A better car and an affordable payment now.
And with the J.D. Byrider program, you can rebuild your credit and move on with your life.
Well, move on down to J.D. Byrider for fast tax filing and get a card today.
It's wild but true. Tax refunds now to use as your down payment.
At J.D. Byrider, you're good to go.
It was years in getting here, but now after a good, close game, Super Bowl 39 is done.
The 2004 season may have come to a close right here in Jacksonville, but for many, the party is just starting. Super Bowl Central's Ty Wilson has more on some of the big-time parties that are playing out right now in your neighbors' homes.
Over at Alltel Stadium, more than 80,000 fans checked out Super Bowl 39, but many of those fans weren't from our area. So what did people do? Well, people got together and had a good time. On South Jacks Beach, it was an intimate setting. Close friends, almost nostalgic about the Super Bowl being played here in Jacksonville.
It's been a historic evening for Jacksonville. I think it is very special to be here watching the game and seeing at your home amazing shots of downtown Jacksonville. It just feels like a world-class city.
Jeff Duffy opened his home to friends.
Can't get tickets to the game, so might as well enjoy it at home with friends.
All eyes were on the Eagles and Patriots, as well as the Super Bowl commercials.
It's always exciting. They always do something new for the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of hype before and after.
For some, the Super Bowl is like a holiday.
There's just so much hype around the game. It's one game. A lot of the other sports have a series of 5 or 7 games.
On college campuses, the Super Bowl gave students one more reason to party.
But in Jacksonville right now, everything's cover charge this, that. So we all kind of just put our ideas together and had a party.
It's awesome. Like, we never had something like this in Jacksonville before, and it's really cool because we have a college town. And it's not really like most college towns, but it's awesome that everyone can get together and have a good time.
Super Bowl 39 is over, but the people partying say they will be doing so into the night and well into the morning. Reporting on the South Side, I'm Ty Wilson.
And with all those parties, of course, come all the snack food. I've seen figures that 14,500 bags of chips are consumed. Also, Americans typically eat enough guacamole during the game to cover the field at Alltel Stadium, end zone to end zone, with about 10 feet deep.
That is a great statistic right there.
That's a lot of guacamole.
I can't imagine how much beer was consumed just in the city of Jacksonville over the past several days. No, we don't know that. No way to figure that out.
We need to take you back out live to Alltel Stadium now, where Sports Director Barry Butel is standing by. Hi, Barry.
Hi, guys. Yeah, talking about guacamole covering this field. You know, remember all the reports we did about this turf and how careful it was laid out and cultivated, and now the media is just trampling all over it. Now we're stomping all over it after a very fantastic game. A game that was tied at 7 after one quarter, a sluggish opening half, but it really began with a flourish in that opening half as Tom Brady led the Patriots on that long drive. Mike Vrabel, the linebacker, picking up the touchdown catch to open up and give the Patriots the lead. But the Philadelphia Eagles stormed right back, tied this game up at 14 after 3 quarters, first time ever in Super Bowl history a game tied at that mark. But the Patriots would prevail by 3 to close out this game. A dynasty, that's what they've they shied away from prior to this game, but afterwards, yeah, sure, I think they're going to talk about it. People are, definitely, because 3 Super Bowl victories in the last 4 seasons. They're the only second team in NFL history to do so besides the Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s. Now, this team, can they maintain this dynasty, so to speak? Losing both their offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss, the new head coach at Notre Dame, and now the defensive coordinator, Romeo Crennel, is headed to the Cleveland Browns as their head coach. Their wide receiver, Troy Brown, says they can continue even without their coaches.
Yeah, like I said, we just believe in each other, you know, and got a great coaching staff, you know, and great players. And, you know, and when you believe, man, you can just about anything you want to do, you know, and you put it in the Lord's hands and He'll take care of it, man.
It was a fantastic finish, a 3-point victory by the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. And being here, seeing this fantastic show put on not only by the NFL inside here by these 2 teams, but for this entire city. Reporting live from Alltel, I'm Barry Butel. Back to you guys. We'll be back with more.
Hold on for the greatest thrill ride in sports. The Daytona 500. Broadcast in HD, February 20th, only on Fox.
The king of the studs is about to meet his queen.
Did it hurt?
What?
When you fell down from heaven.
That 70 show.
Monday at 7 on Fox 30.
Thanks for a wonderful evening.
It's my pleasure. Hey, is this your car?
Not on a first date. But, you want some coffee?
Okay.
The 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima. Lease one today.
Closed captioning brought to you by Harrell & Harrell. If you've been injured in an accident, call us. We're still on the back of your phone book. Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
There are some days when all you feel like eating is a gallon of Rocky Road, some chocolate, a big jar of peanut butter, and a lot more chocolate. For those days, after those days, Hardee's barbecue chicken sandwich, only 4 grams of fat.
You're watching Jacksonville's own Fox 30, a service of Clear Channel.
Dodge Durango was ranked #1 in a Motor Trend full-size SUV comparison test. It's got more cargo room, 7 seats for your squad, flip-down DVD screen, and 8-speaker Infinity sound system, plus a 335 horsepower Hemi V8 that's really kicking. Oh, we went to town. Better believe it. Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus great package discounts plus bonus cash for a total savings of up to $88.50.
O'clock in the evening, and the van apparently didn't see me. I ran dead into her. So many things flashed through my mind. I didn't know who to call, and the only thing I could picture in my mind was 1-800-ASK-GARY. I was scared and confused. I called 1-800-ASK-GARY, and I'm glad I did. It was free, with no strings attached. And if I got in an accident again, I would call 1-800-ASK-GARY.
Back live out here at Alltel Stadium, the Super Bowl just wrapped up. Of course, the Patriots winning, but you'd never know it because the Eagle fans are still out here. They're still wild and crazy. Even the bike taxis are out here taking those Eagle fans to their hotels, even at this hour.
Yeah, I think we've outlasted most of the fans, though. It's even, I'd say, less than a trickle now. But it is funny that the Eagles fans were really the ones that stuck around the latest and made the most noise tonight, really. There were a lot more of them than there were Patriots fans inside. You got to admit that.
It seemed that way, although they seemed to be the loudest fans, and then we, of course, were sitting on the Eagles side. But I was cracking up because even the mascots are just wild and crazy, and it's no wonder. Even the cheerleaders, it's just no wonder that the Eagles have such fan support, because you've got the mascot jumping around on his head, and I mean, it was just really a fun event. Even the halftime show was just absolutely phenomenal. They talked so much about who was going to perform, and it was Paul McCartney, and everybody could identify with those Beatles songs, don't you think?
Yeah, people seem to be, they didn't really know exactly what to expect from the halftime show, the people that we talked to, because in the past there have been so many different acts, and they rush them on for half a song, and then it's a different person. And the people that we talked to, really, they were able to sort of settle into Paul McCartney's performance. It lasted for a while, and they felt like they got a lot more entertainment value out of it.
And the other thing that was really cool is we heard from Alicia Keys, America the Beautiful, before the game even started, and she has a great Jacksonville tie because she was working with the St. Augustine School for the Deaf and Blind, and all of those kids were out there, and the song was in sign language, and that's one of her Jacksonville-based charities as well. So a lot of Jacksonville ties, and really anybody who thought Jacksonville couldn't pull this off, it couldn't have been better. From the time that I was in Atlanta hearing the announcement that Jacksonville would be the Super Bowl city, to the planning, the host committee, and all of those volunteers, it's really been incredible.
It was a fantastic day, and I got a funny little story. A good friend of mine works in the media in the Boston area in sports, and so I went up to him at the very end of the game to congratulations, the Patriots won, and he said, I'm really, really happy that the Patriots won, but he said now this opens up a whole nother can of worms, because he said we have to fly back to Boston early tomorrow, the team has to fly back to Boston early tomorrow, then they have to turn around and he has to be at work at 5 o'clock on Tuesday morning for the celebration parade, of course, where all of Boston turns out, and of course the players have to get up, the media has to get up extra early for that. So the Patriots won the Super Bowl, but there's a lot more work ahead and celebration to go on in Boston and the New England area.
You're absolutely right, Jack, and there's some celebrating in Jacksonville. I understand some of the hotels downtown are still going off even at this hour, but I know that I'm going to be going to bed at this point. How about you?
We're among the last media correspondents out here, and but still, you know, a strong security presence as they kind of peel things down and wrap things up from Super Bowl 39, which has been extremely successful tonight.
Thanks for staying up late with us. Back to you guys.
Now, your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris.
Weather cooperated too. Very nice, with plenty of sunshine both yesterday and for the most part today, although we did have a couple bands of clouds move through. Temperatures topped out in the mid-60s briefly, then 50s for the ball game. No rainfall. First alert Doppler is all quiet, but we do have some cloud cover here. There are patches where it breaks out. Now Waycross has broken out into some clearing, so is Brunswick. Now Jacksonville, which was partly cloudy not too long ago, now has become overcast again, and we're socked in. But we'll see the clouds moving in and out through the nighttime hours and eventually give way to what should be, again, a partly sunny day tomorrow. 50 right now at the International Airport. Temperatures drop down into the upper 50s when we break out a little bit, then come back up some when the clouds move back in. 83% the humidity with a north to northeasterly breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Here you can see the cloud cover actually moving in two different directions. Low clouds coming in off the water with the low-level winds, and in the upper levels of the atmosphere, high clouds moving from west to east, approaching from the next storm system that's out to the north and west. We're producing rain now. Dallas-Fort Worth up to Little Rock and then into the Ohio Valley. And on its backside, it's pretty good snow this evening over parts of Kansas and up into Iowa. And for us, we just see the scattered cloud cover, warmer temperatures the way it looks ahead of the storm system before it eventually brings us some rain. Speaking of warmer, how about a 70 for tomorrow? At least close, 69 for Jacksonville. Closer to the coast, it will be 5-6 degrees lower, though, as we'll continue to have an easterly onshore wind. So keep that in mind. If you might run to the beach, you're going to want to bundle up a little bit. Get farther inland, it gets even warmer, into the low to mid-70s at Gainesville, Waycross, and Lake City, for example. And then Tuesday, we even add a few more degrees to these temperatures. Really several beautiful days ahead as this storm to the north and west will continue to produce rain, but a long ways away from Jacksonville until it finally makes its move by the time we get into Wednesday and Wednesday night. So by late Tuesday, there's the front from Cincinnati down into northwestern Louisiana. Mild air out ahead of it, cold air behind it, so the collision of the air masses produces some rain, but that won't be until Wednesday night and Thursday. And then, of course, once we get to the other side of the front, temperatures then begin to drop. So for tonight, call it partly cloudy overall. It'll be sort of a mix of clear skies at times and variable cloudiness at other times. Low temperatures will drop down into the 40s with a light northeasterly breeze. Partly cloudy and nice tomorrow. Highs mainly in the upper 60s, but some low 70s inland and some low 60s right along the coast. Quite a range with that east wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Small craft advisory remains in effect thanks to strong gusty winds. Seas still 8 to 11 feet tomorrow. If you haven't been to the beach this weekend, it has been a very choppy and a very wet with temperatures in the beaches only in the low 50s for the surf temp, so the air temperature is quite cool. So we'll keep it warm into Wednesday, then some showers, and then cooler again by the end of the week.
And one of our photographers just got back from one of the t-shirt companies putting these out. Here it is, the official.
Go over here, I think. Here we go.
Now you got it.
Super Bowl 39
Patriots,
champions, New England Patriots.
Interesting, they just have to kind of do the little Patriot here to make that an official Patriot shirt.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of work.
But that also fits a little eagle as well. It's just
that's true,
that one. All right.
Jack was mentioning their travel, too. Some of them, I think Tom Brady is headed to Honolulu for the Pro Bowl next weekend, too.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
There's going to be a lot of work.
Stay with us. Fox 30's coverage continues right after this.
Imagine what it would be like to be one of the few people who are able to buy high-quality, name-brand furniture, flooring, window treatments, cabinetry, lighting, appliances, electronics, even bathroom fixtures at insiders' prices just like the stores. How is this possible? It's simple with Direct Buy, America's #1 way to buy direct for your home. It's an entirely new way to buy everything you want and need. All top-quality, name-brand items at confidential insider prices.
We saved approximately $5,000.
$6,000–7,000.
We saved 30 grand. Sue and I have both been retail buyers, and we understand the relationship between cost and retail pricing, and it made a lot of sense.
If you're building a new house, remodeling an old one, or just fixing up a room, you won't lose the thousands of dollars you would have by shopping in the stores. Call the number on your screen now to receive your free information sheet along with a free visitor's pass to attend an upcoming open house tour of the Direct Buy showroom. As a Direct Buy member, you'll have access to products from over 700 major brand name manufacturers and their authorized distributors. Join the exclusive insiders who are already in the know and buying direct for their families. You don't have to be on the outside any longer, giving your money away. Now you too can be a member. Call the number on your screen now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Don't wait another minute. Call now.
When two great things come together, that's the sweet spot. Introducing the most powerful mid-sized truck, period. The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Frontier. Welcome to the sweet spot.
Fox 30 has been your Super Bowl Central. Thanks for joining us for our extended live team coverage tonight of Super Bowl 39.
It's now Super Bowl Monday.
Yes, it is.
The day after the Super Bowl.
Right.
We'll have more on the trip home for all these people tonight.
A shift has been made. And the full-size truck party finally got... A shift has been made. And the mid-size truck feels a whole lot bigger. A shift has been made. And when you think tough, powerful, innovative trucks, think Nissan.
Now let's go. I got one, want one, gotta get one, gotta have one.
You gotta eat.
Checkers. Where'd you get it? Let me have it, gotta get it, now you got it. Yeah.
You gotta eat.
Checkers. Well, alright. Cool, you got that.
Unbelievable burgers are back. Bacon cheddar, chili cheese, or mushroom swiss, just 99 cents. Can't beat 'em, gotta eat 'em. Unbelievable burgers, just 99 cents at Checkers.
Yeah. Give me that, gotta eat.
You've got important things to spend your money on, so get free points every time you use your ViStar Platinum Rewards Visa to use for travel or merchandise. It's just one of the everyday benefits of being member-owned and member-run. ViStar Credit Union. Join today. Transfer your balances to one of ViStar Credit Union's no-surprise credit cards today. Get a low 5.9% APR that will hold until your balance is paid in full.
Professional Bull Riders Southern Ford Dealers Invitational. Part of the Bill Ford Tough Series presented by Wrangler. It's the best bull riding action, where 8 seconds can make a hero. And the action is affordable, because kids' super value seats are still just $5. And adults can save $5 in advance with a discount coupon from your area's Southern Ford dealers. February 18th at Veterans Memorial Arena. The epic battle, man versus beast, is back.
There are some days when all you feel like eating is a gallon of Rocky Road, some chocolate, a big jar of peanut butter, and a lot more chocolate. For those days, after those days, Hardee's Barbecue Chicken Sandwich, only 4 grams of fat.